Welcome to So That Reminds Me, Reminder Publishing's bi-weekly podcast discussing Western Mass news. I'm Tyler Garnett.
And I'm Dennis Hackett.
And we'll be your hosts for today's episode.
On this week's episode, we are sitting down with Sprit of Springfield President Judy Matt and Honorary Chair Commissioner BJ Calvi from the Springfield Fire Department to discuss this year's world's largest pancake breakfast in Springfield on Saturday, May 17th. So before we get into the episode a little bit, you obviously hear that me and Tyler are on today. Chris had to take the day off, so I stepped in and we had a fun little interview here with for the pancake breakfast.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know you and me haven't hosted in maybe a year or forever.
I don't even know. Yeah, very long time.
Yeah, the listeners will have to go back and listen to that one. I don't even know if we ever have. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know I've said many times before, I'm new to Western Massachusetts still, and this is pretty much my first time hearing about this event. I've never gone, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this feels like one of the premier like Western Mass events that happens in Springfield every year. So it's definitely going to be interesting to learn a bit more about it and kind of the effort that goes into it.
Exactly, because I believe they shut down pretty much the whole street where they hold the event and everything. And I mean, all the pancakes that they make and bake and juice. I mean, we'll get into it more in the interview, but it is really impressive to see how much goes into this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of speaking of pancakes, do you have any like favorite places you like to go for pancakes or any like style like you like your pancakes done?
I'm pretty simple. I just like a plain pancake, throw some syrup on top and butter. I don't mind chocolate chips or blueberries in it. But yeah, if I had to go to, it's probably just plain and really any diner. Really, I don't know if I have a specific place, but just any diner that almost looks a little run down and it looks like not the greatest place. I think always has the best food.
Yeah.
What about you?
So for me, I lean towards the chocolate chip or plain too, and then what my mom does when she makes it at home is she'll like mix butter in with the maple syrup and heat it up in the microwave, and that is always very, very good. So, but yeah, and then like places that I've been to, the one that always pops out to me thinking of pancakes is the Maine Diner in Wells, Maine.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we used to go to Maine every single year, and we had to go there. And my mom, every single time we went there, she got the giant blueberry pancake.
Awesome.
And it was just always so good.
Yeah. Honestly, I just remembered, too, that McDonald's has some of the best breakfast pancakes. I don't know how that slipped my mind, but something about their breakfast, especially their pancakes, I don't know what it's made out of.
The pancakes, the McGriddles, those are basically like pancakes.
Basically, the buns serve as pancakes, and I don't know if I want to know what they put into it, but it is so delicious.
Yeah, no, I haven't had one of those in many, many years, and I'm not sure that my body would like having one of those.
No. I remember every time the last day of school used to only be like an hour or 2 hours, and then you would get picked up. I remember my dad would always pick up me and my sister, and we went right to McDonald's all the time and got their breakfast because it was just something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But like you said, kind of something you can only have once or twice a year, especially nowadays.
Yeah. I remember there was a fishing trip I went on with one of my friends. We were probably 7 or 8 years old maybe, but I vividly remember that on the way there, because we went down to Rhode Island to go fishing, and on the way we stopped at McDonald's for breakfast, and I remembered vividly getting the pancakes from that. But yeah, it's kind of weird, the things that stand out in your mind that, especially with food. But
yeah, it is actually really crazy, and I mean I can taste those pancakes right now. They are really good. It's making me hungry, and I just absolutely love simple maple syrup on top, just covering the whole thing in it. Yeah, I'm pancakes over waffles too, I think.
I think it depends on my mood, but I probably lean towards the same.
Yeah.
But can't go bad with a good waffle either.
No, you cannot.
All right, I think with that, we'll give way to our interview here, but before we do, we'll take a quick little ad break.
We get it. You're busy, but you want to be connected to your local community. If you're not reading The Reminder, Western Mass's free weekly newspaper, you're missing out on the heartbeat of your town. Stay in the loop with all the latest buzz, from local stories to community updates and exciting events. It's all in The Reminder. Just log on to thereminder.com and dive into the hometown news you love. To subscribe to receive The Reminder at your home, call 413-788-1316. Don't miss a beat. Your town, your stories, your community for over 60 years. The Reminder. We are hometown news. Are you hearing wedding bells? Take a deep breath. Go Local Magazine has your back. Our wedding special section is your one-stop resource to the best in local photographers, caterers, florists, venues, and so much more. Get inspired by the couples who share their special day with us. Then check out the experts who created their perfect event. It's all here and all at your fingertips in Go Local.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We first wanted to give you both the opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourselves and your involvement within the event and the organization.
Oh, awesome. So my name is BJ Calvi. I'm the Fire Commissioner for the City of Springfield. This year's honorary chairman of the world's largest pancake breakfast, and I'm honored that the Sprit of Springfield board selected me to be the chair for this year. So I've been in the fire service for 34 years, fire and emergency services for 34 years, and the last 8 years I've been the Fire Commissioner.
My name is Judy Matt, and I'm the president of the Sprit of Springfield. I started the Sprit of Springfield, and right after Richie Neal's administration, I was the president or the commissioner of the mayor's office of community affairs, called MOCA at the time. And then when MOCA had to close for financial purposes, a group of the people that were on the board said, you know what, we need this now more than ever. So they started the Sprit of Springfield. And so we've been doing this particular event that we're talking about today over 30 years.
Wow.
And considering the number of guests that have come, we've had probably millions over the years. And we do many events in the city. But this is one of the most popular. It's the rite of spring because it comes so early. And we're always like to tap somebody to be our honorary chairman that has donated and done so much for the city. And BJ just was the perfect guy. And as he said, you know, he usually sees people at their darkest time. And this is going to be a day that he can have fun and see people in another light.
Absolutely. And then speaking of this year's pancake breakfast, what are some of the new additions or changes coming this year?
Well, the newest addition is BJ Calvi, but you know, every year it's a little bit something different, and it depends on the exhibitors that we have, and we have not only the National Guard, and we do a lot with the military, that they're going to be having exhibitry as well as you know, barns. And we try to include them in everything we do. But we have so many along the way. We have what we call 17 coffee juice stations. So people will come down and they don't have to go far to get coffee or juice. Even if you don't want pancakes, you just help yourself to the coffee and juice. And so we will have entertainment. We have 2 entertainment stages, and they will be kept busy. And it's all homegrown. I don't want anyone to think this is super sophisticated, because it's not meant to be. It's meant to be homegrown. And our added attraction this year is the Elms are graduating, so we're going to be having a lot of Elm students running up and down the street. But you know, you come and you just have a good time. And there's a new gentleman just moved on the street. He's going to be here for 6 months working in cardiac care for Base Day. And I said, we have this breakfast. You might want to come down. And I said, it's big, but you might want to come down, because when you say it's the world's largest, doesn't mean anything. And when you say we're going to prepare for 12,000 people, then it means something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, you know, that kind of led to our next question is, year in, year out, you know, how many people are you anticipating for this year's event?
Well, we're preparing food for 12,000.
Okay.
And what we have remaining goes to local area shelters, so nothing goes to waste.
That's good. And then I guess how many pancakes are you expecting to make if there's 12,000 people?
A lot. There's
Inconceivable.
thousands of pancakes made each year.
Okay.
We have 300 volunteers. We have 3 tents. The post office, the amalgamated transit, which are the bus drivers, and then the ones in the center are city department heads and Unico. And if you said you wanted to cook in one of those tents, you couldn't. You'd have to check with them first. People said, I have this one school group that wants to come in, and they said, can the kids cook pancakes? And I said, no, they can't. They cannot do it, because he's going to have a hard time breaking in, because they're going to just check and make sure it's the right thing. But they take great pride in this. And the way I feel about it, they come with their spatulas, a lot of them, first thing in the morning, and this is what they do for the city this year. They spend 4 or 5 hours of their day, and they made a contribution to the community, and they take it very seriously, and it's got to be right. So be careful.
Yeah, got to make sure the pancakes are right.
Yeah, seems like a lot of pressure for sure. Seems like everything's down to a science.
It is.
And just looking back a little bit on the history of the event, how did Springfield become the home to the world's largest pancake breakfast? I know you mentioned it's 30 years now, but...
Yeah. Well, I think it was for the bicentennial, they did something on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And they did cereal, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
This is before me. And then it ended. Then Congressman Neal came in and he wanted to rejuvenate this. So we started with the pancakes, and then we started with this competition with Battle Creek, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very friendly competition for years. And, cold cereal and milk. And we do hot pancakes. But what they would do is they would deliver skids of cereal to everywhere, and that's how they got their numbers,
Mm-hmm.
But they would send representatives here to Springfield, and we would send representatives there and count their tickets and what have you. We used to do a big ticket thing at the time, so we could announce it. And then Congressman Neal was going to bounce. Congressman Neal was going to eat cereal if they won, and their congressman was going to bounce a basketball down the street. But it was just good fun, It was just fun, and that's really what the intent always was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess starting from there, how has the breakfast kind of evolved over the years?
Well, I think that it's now on the city's birthday, so it's the city's birthday week for the pancake breakfast. So it's a basic birthday party for the city and the citizens of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, and I know the event takes place Saturday, May 17th, but anyone looking to attend, what can they expect?
They can expect a good time. There are going to be displays from the fire department, the police department. The military will have displays down there. There's plenty of community members out and about enjoying the morning. So anybody who comes down can expect a great time and to see a lot of interesting things and meet a lot of nice people.
Awesome.
And actually, if anyone wanted to attend, did they have to buy tickets ahead of time?
No, but we will have tickets for sale that day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's $1 for children and $3 for adults. And we are American Medical Response, together with the BJ on Monday, took all the tickets that have been counted for all the area schools, some 70,000 of them, and AMR is going to be delivering them. They delivered Springfield the other day, and now they're going to be delivering them throughout the week, so that the kids will all have them by the beginning of next week.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And then before we continue with our interview, we're going to take a quick little ad break.
Since the founding of Reminder Publishing over 60 years ago, the Reminder has brought local businesses together with their customers, your neighbors and friends, through our advertising and coverage. Over the past 4 years, the Reminder has been adding to its reporting capabilities and expanding our readership, while other newspapers in the region, state, and country have scaled back or closed. We want local journalism to thrive and grow, and are asking readers and listeners to support and participate. The Reminder Press Club's mission is to ensure that local journalism is sustainable and leading healthy community discussions. The Reminder Press Club is a way for you to support the crucial work of professional reporters covering the vital stories in our community. Learn more about the Reminder Press Club or join at reminderpressclub.com.
All right, and we're back. So moving along, what kind of preparation goes into the breakfast each year?
There's you got to mix all the batter, got to have all the batter prepared, and then you have to cook all the bacon. So how many pounds of bacon? 1,000 pounds?
1,050 to be exact.
So 1,050 pounds of bacon has to be cooked, so you've got to get all that preparation done.
Mm-hmm.
Then the coffee has to be made, the orange juice has to be prepared. So it's a big undertaking for the week before the breakfast, making sure everything's all lined up and ready to go.
The Food Channel many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, came down and filmed it because it was like a military campaign to put all this together. And, from Hood giving us 1,000 gallons of milk and juice and cream, and from the bacon, that all has to be brought in, and then we have 3 refrigerated trucks. Everything is evenly distributed, and then we go over to Mercy, who makes the batter, and all the batter is loaded, and then we evenly distribute it. So then each one of the refrigerated trucks acts as the backup for the tent. And then throughout the day, that Yellowstone keeps, if you're low, they go deliver this, and they deliver it. And it's 5-gallon buckets. And it is, it's really, as I said, nothing is hard, but it's just a real process. And as I said, from we're going to be going to the BJ and I are going to be going to the sheriff's department on Mill Street, and starting next Monday they start making the bacon. That's a lot of bacon to make, and so we'll be in there having fun making the bacon with Louis Theros, who's with MGM, who's the major host sponsor to this, and BJ and the sheriff, of course, and actually his mom comes every year, which is kind of fun.
Very nice.
And so they make that, and then BJ on Friday will go to Mercy when they're mixing the batter, and the batter's donated by PFG. Everybody does something to make this happen, and by them doing their small part, we can do this big event. And it's not, I say small part, 1,000 pounds of bacon is not small, nor is 1,000 gallons of milk and juice small, and that is the refrigerated trucks. And these 300 volunteers we have, they know what their job is, and they take it seriously, and it's their contribution to the city. So we're just very grateful. And then we start a walk around, and BJ and the mayor and several other people will walk the street, and we go from one end of the street down. The first place we go to is the post office, and we go in there, and it's like they're having such a great time. I'm surprised they even let us in, but everyone's like really has a good time. And then we walk table to table to table, and thank everybody for participating and helping us. Go all the way to the end, to the amalgamated transit workers and the bus drivers. And they have guys dressed, one in particular he dresses with a headdress, an Indian headdress every year. But you never know what you're going to see. But they're having a good time, and that's what we want. Then we work our way back down to every single booth back to the stage, which is in front of the Mass Mutual Center, where we do opening program. And I just would like to say that this year, Carlos Gonzalez is going to lead everybody in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we hope to have 500 people singing God Bless America. That's going to take place after that, because we think we need that. And the fire department is putting up the huge flag over the street, and we're going to give away 500 flags to the first 500 people that come. So it's a very patriotic thing, this event. It's so homegrown, and that's why I think it works, because it's so simple.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. And, I'll admit I am new to Western Massachusetts, so this is kind of my first time learning about this event,
nice.
And which has been great. And I just had to read this from the Sprit of Springfield website, because you mentioned the 1,000 pounds of bacon, but on the website, 3,400 pounds of buttermilk flour, 800 pounds of eggs, 350 pounds of butter, 400 gallons of water. The 450 gallons of maple syrup. It's incredible to hear how much goes into it. And, how many people are really involved with this event, and are they all volunteers? Or
they're all volunteers.
Hundreds of volunteers are involved every year. They come out every year to give back to the city and give back to the community, and it's just a great community event.
It's like a block party. You will see people you haven't seen in a year, and that's what's good about it. Yeah. And coming together in celebration for a common thing, an easy, simple breakfast, and they can talk, and that's why it's so successful.
Yeah. And then just kind of going off of that, what does it kind of mean, like from the Spirit of Springfield's perspective, to be able to hold a community event that is just so important and brings all these people together?
Well, that's our mission.
Yeah.
Promote community events, encourage civic pride, and give people a reason to celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned it was only $1 or $3, for adults. But how does this event benefit the Spirit of Springfield?
It doesn't make any money, if that's what you mean. No, there's no what they call operating expense coming out of this. And so it benefits us just by fulfilling our mission. But I must say, Michael's Party Rentals, he's had the same price for about 25 years for all the tents and the tables and the chairs. That's one of the few things that we have to pay for. The city gives us the firefighters, the police officers for the day, and DPW does their part. Everybody does their part to make it work. But no, everybody wants it to happen. They want it to be successful. They don't want anything to mess this up. And that's how I feel about it. And as I was saying, that we're going to have lots of firefighters down there. They had a new class. We're going to have lots of police officers. There's a new class. So there's going to be a lot of blue walking around.
Yep.
So that's good.
Awesome.
And you can have a chance to go and shake the hand of someone. Do you know what I mean? That's what's so nice. That's what's so nice. They can go up to him. They can go up to our police commissioner. They can go up to the mayor. The mayor talks to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
The mayor
get
loves
down the
it.
street.
Yeah,
Oh, he
I'm sure.
loves it. He couldn't come because he had COVID a couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they said they put windows on to keep him in because he wanted to visit.
I imagine. Yeah, exactly. And I know you mentioned it briefly before, but what happens to all the leftovers from, if there is any, which I'm sure there is?
So all the leftovers go to the local homeless shelters and food shelters, and benefits the homeless population.
Awesome. Yeah, so no food obviously goes to
No,
waste.
nothing goes to waste. Everything's used.
Yep.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And then, Commissioner, so this is obviously, what are you kind of looking most forward to as the honorary chair this year?
I'm looking forward to just being out in the community and seeing everyone. I see people all the time. I'm very active in the community, but a lot of times I'm dealing with people on what could be the worst days of their life. They're having a traumatic event. Their house is on fire. There's been a disaster. The fire department's there. I may be there. And we're dealing with people a lot of times on what are bad days for them. So it's great to be out in the community on a fun event like this and get to interact with people on what's a good day for them and a good day for the city.
Awesome.
Gotcha. And another important question we have, of course, is obviously your lifetime of firefighting training, or what in your lifetime of firefighting training has prepared you for flipping thousands of pancakes?
So this is a bigger chore than the usual cooking at the firehouse. So, everybody learns how to cook in the firehouse.
Sure.
Because if you're not a good cook, you've got to be a good cleaner. So I was never really a good cleaner. So I had to learn to be a better cook. So
That's funny. That's a good question. I like that.
And then I guess kind of speaking broadly with Sprit of Springfield, what are some of the events you have coming up in the next couple of months in addition to the breakfast?
Well, we have a small event, which is our golf tournament in June. A big event is 4th of July. My favorite event is the 9/11 on 9/11. And then we have the Bright Nights Ball, and we go into Bright Nights for 40 nights. So there's 4 of us. We're always working on everything. People say they think they stop. No, that doesn't happen. You're working constantly on the next thing, And thanks to so many people in the community and all the support that we get, not only we have to, like you had a good question. How does it benefit? It doesn't benefit financially. That's not what it's about. And the 4th of July, we don't get any operating income at the 4th of July either. Mass Mutual sponsors the fireworks and the activities around it. But my team gets paid. I hate to say team, there's 4 of us. But it is a team, but I mean, it's not big. And we go out and raise all the money to do these things so that the community, most people think we are the city, but we are not the city. We do this to benefit the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess kind of going off of that, what does it kind of mean to you to be able to have so many different partners in the community that are able to team up and, make these things happen?
Couldn't do it without them. We were just 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it, and it sounds maybe corny, but it really takes a village to do these things, and it takes a big village to do the pancake breakfast. Because if you look at the audit and what the cost is if we had to charge for this event, if someone was to come, $3, $1. You have to really work hard to pay to come to this breakfast. But that's not what it's about. Never was. Same thing with the 4th of July. When you see the look on people's faces and how excited they are in their community, that says it all.
Yeah.
There's some things we have to charge for, like Bright Nights, but that pays for everything that we do, the remainder of everything. And if it wasn't for that, come COVID, when they were going to have us close, my board went to the governor, and the governor said if everything had to be touchless. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be talking today because we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because Bright Nights throws off the money that we need. I mean, a lot of generous contributors, but it takes a lot to operate these things.
Yeah, and I'm sure they see how important an event like this is. I know we've talked about coming out of the pandemic. Everyone was, forced to stay inside, couldn't be around people. So I'm sure this is another great chance for people just to see other people in the community and have a good laugh and a good smile and enjoy some good food for cheap.
Well, absolutely. It's a time for everybody to get together and celebrate the city of Springfield and celebrate the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty much all the questions we have. Is there anything you two want to add about what people should look forward to or anything?
You should come down.
Yeah.
You folks should be there.
We've got aprons for you guys.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
So,
yeah.
There's one for
And
you.
thank you guys very
One
One
much.
for
These
you.
are great aprons.
Appreciate it. I know the audio listeners cannot see it, but there will be pictures online to go along with it. So we appreciate it.
Great.
Very nice. Thank you guys. Thank you guys again for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so
for
much.
having us.
Thanks for listening to So That Reminds Me, produced by Western Massachusetts news source Reminder Publishing. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, find the latest news at thereminder.com, and follow Reminder Publishing on Instagram at Reminder Publishing, on X at The Reminder MA, and on Facebook. Reminder Publishing, we are hometown news.